Now, as the yolk sac undergoes the hourglass constrictions as a result of the convergence of the foldings ventrally, the part of the yolk sac that is present within the embryonic fold or the embryo, it forms the primitive gut. It becomes the primitive gut, which forms the major part of the gastrointestinal tract. And the part of the yolk sac that is present outside the embryonic fold or embryo, it becomes the definitive yolk sac. Means this is the yolk sac, hourglass condition. This part, it is present in the embryo. It is the primitive gut. While the part, this is outside the embryo, it is the definitive yolk sac. Now this narrow channel that connects these two parts, it is known as the vitellointestinal duct. This is the vitellointestinal duct, and that passes through the umbilical cord. Now, on the diagram, this is the yolk sac and this is the amniotic cavity. This amniotic cavity, if you remember, this is the blue color line, while the yolk sac cavity, it is the yellow color. This layer is the endoderm and this layer is the ectoderm, and this membrane, it is the amniogenic membrane, and this is the membrane that lines the amniotic cavity, endoderm layers. Now after the folding, in this diagram, this is the head and the tail folding. Now see this yolk sac. This yolk sac, one part, it is outside this embryo, and another part, this is trapped inside the embryo due to the folding, head and the tail folding. And this narrow channel communicates this. So this part of the yolk sac, it is the primitive gut. This part which is outside the embryo, it is the definitive yolk sac. And this channel that communicates, it is the vitellointestinal duct. With further development, this definitive yolk sac and this vitellointestinal duct undergoes atrophy and disappears, and this part, it forms the part of the GIT. Now first the effects of the head folding. What changes occur as a result of the head folding? Now, before head folding, we know the septum transversum is the cranial most structures. Now the scenario has changed. Now this is the most cranial structure of the embryo. Where is the embryo? This embryo, and this is the amniotic cavity. This is the amniotic cavity. This amniotic cavity completely surrounds this embryo. That is why you tell that amniotic cavity enlarge while the yolk sac reduce. This embryo floats into this cavity, and this is connected with the mother by this. This is the umbilical cord. So now it is the forebrain vesicle. It is the forebrain, midbrain and the hindbrain. Progencentrum, mesen and the rhombensentrum. It is becomes the cranial extremity of the embryo. Now it is the brain becomes the cranial end of the embryo. Then there is a foregut. This is the foregut, FG. It is the foregut. What is the foregut? This is the part of the yolk sac that is contained into the head fold. As a result of head fold, the part of the yolk sac that is contained in the embryo, it becomes the foregut. Means we know the yolk sac and its membrane is the endodermal origin. So initially this foregut, it is a blind endodermal tube. Blind endodermal tube. Cranially it is closed. Later on it will open. So it is cranially closed, while the caudally this foregut communicates with the midgut. This is the midgut. The midgut part that lies opposite to this allantoid diverticulum. Through this communication, this is the midgut part. So this channel through which foregut communicates with the midgut, it is known as the anterior intestinal portal. It is the anterior intestinal portal through which foregut communicates with the midgut. Now, the ventral relation of the foregut. Foregut, it is the ventral and this is the dorsal. If you see the foregut relation, ventral relation of the foregut, cranially to caudally, the most cranial structures, it is the buccopharyngeal membrane. Buccopharyngeal membrane. This buccopharyngeal membrane, that is the number 3. Then caudal to buccopharyngeal membrane, this is the pericardial sac. Now see the change. Before folding, if you remember the diagram, before folding, this pericardial sac is directed dorsally and the cardiogenic area is directed ventrally, means towards the yolk sac. Now the situation has changed. Now this pericardial sac, pericardial cavity is directed ventrally, while this cardiogenic area where the primitive heart will form, it is present between the cavity and the foregut. It means they present between the foregut and the pericardial sac. What structure is separating? It is the cardiogenic area, and this is due to the folding. So it is the pericardial sac with the cardiogenic area that separate the foregut from this pericardial sac. Now caudal to this area, it is the area number 1, means it is the septum transverse. It is the septum transverse. Means as a result of folding, this septum transversum, which was the cranial most structures, now becomes the caudal most. It is situated here. So these are the ventral relations of the foregut from cranial to caudal. It is the buccopharyngeal, pericardial sac and the septum transverse. Now dorsal to the foregut. If we see the dorsal relation, dorsal to foregut, it is the part of the brain and it is the notochord. It is the notochord and the brain vesicles are present behind the foregut. So, if you see, there are in future two bulging will form. There are two bulging. One bulging is this. This is the developing brain, and the second bulging, this one. It is the developing pericardial sac. There are two bulging. It is the cranial bulging, and this is the caudal bulging. There is no neck. No neck is formed here. It is the head in the future, and this is the trunk. So there are two bulging are present at the cranial end of the embryo. The one bulging is due to the developing brain, that is situated cranially, and the second bulging, this is the pericardial bulging. Now there is a depression. This depression, the floor of which depression is formed by the buccopharyngeal membrane, and this depression, it is known as the oestomodium. This depression is the oestomodium, and the membrane which forms the floor of the oestomodium is the buccopharyngeal membrane. What is oestomodium? It is the ectodermal depression. Ectodermal depression present on cranial end of the embryo. Cranial end of embryo. It is the ectodermal depression present on the cranial end that separates the two bulges, developing brain and the pericardial sac. And the floor of this oestomodium is formed by the buccopharyngeal membrane. Now in the 4th week, this buccopharyngeal membrane open, and this foregut communicates with the exterior through the oestomodium, that becomes the mouth, primitive mouth.